Do you mind if I talk to you for a minute, Representative?
No.
Okay. My name's Brian Jack Holder.
Yeah, I know who you are, Brian.
Okay. I've got a question about the elections law bill you guys passed this spring.
Sure.
You voted to increase the number of signatures that independents and third parties have to get to run for Congress by 400%. And in the last election cycle, I was the only person that ran outside of the two major parties for the U.S. House. So you guys passed a bill to increase my signatures by 400%, and it affects one person in the state of Iowa, this change you made in the law. So, and you assigned me 1,726 signatures. Where did you come up with that formula?
I can't tell you exactly where the formula came up.
Because without a formula, you guys took away the formula that existed for major party candidates for Congress, and you took away the formula for independent candidates, because there was a formula for both groups.
I believe it was, if I remember right, I believe it was an equity issue to make it more equal for all concerned, all parties concerned.
Well, I know that's the claim, but I don't get a primary. So if I turn in 1726 signatures and another libertarian turns in 1726 signatures, guess what? Only one of us can go on the ballot as a libertarian. The Secretary of State's office would have a drawing and would strip one of us of our party affiliation on the ballot.
Well, it would be the same no matter what the number of signatures is. That would be the same. That wouldn't change.
Well, I don't have a primary, though, to determine the party's nominee.
I understand that, but the primary has nothing to do with signatures.
Well, yes, there was a different standard for signatures between the general election and the primary election.
I understand that.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that whether you have to get one signature or you have to get 1,000, you still don't have a primary.
Right, I don't have a primary.
And if there's another candidate, then the Secretary of State decides, right?
Right, and why should the Secretary of State decide who is the nominee for a third party that doesn't get a primary? That doesn't sound very equitable to me.
Well,
but the other thing is the 1,726. This number has to be based upon something. Otherwise, it's completely arbitrary.
It's not completely arbitrary. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it is an equity issue.
Well, I'll tell you what it is you basically gave the Republicans and Democrats a permanent cap on the number of signatures they have to get to run for U.S. House. And in the same bill, you increased my burden by 400%. I went from 375 signatures. Now I have to turn in 1726 next March, which is more than the 4 times I run for Congress combined.
Well, if you're a viable candidate, then you shouldn't have any trouble getting 1,700 signatures.
Why should I have to get more than 500? Why should I have to get more than 200? What do you mean viable? Aren't we all equal citizens?
What I mean by viable is that if I can get 1,726 signatures to run for Congress as a Republican, why shouldn't you be able to get it as a libertarian?
Because of the fact that I'm not a major party candidate. The legislature, has created a second-class citizens of third-party candidates.
We're just looking at everybody who runs as equal.
Everybody. And how come I've got to get 47 signatures in half of the counties? Where did this number of 47 come up with?
I can't.
Well, that violates a Supreme Court precedent from 1969.
Then.
Oh, I'm taking this to court. I'm filing a lawsuit against Paul Pate.
That's your prerogative.
But I think it's ridiculous that the Republicans are such sore losers that they want to keep the Libertarian off the ballot because they think that he cost David Young an election.
Well, you did.
David Young cost himself the election. Did you know there were 12,000 people that did not vote for the congressional candidates yet took a ballot? That's where David lost, is the people that decided not to vote for any of us three. It's not my fault. And how can you blame me? I've been excluded from the debate on public TV 4 times now. 4 times. Am I a second-class citizen?
I got nothing to do with that debate on TV.
Well, you guys fund public television. You guys have everything to do with Iowa Public Television. It's part of the Department of Education, which is run by the state.
We fund them, but we don't mandate to them what they can do. Program.
Did you empower them to be censors and to segregate candidates from debates?
No, we didn't.
I've got a law degree, Tom. I worked hard for my education.
Well,
my dad was a teacher just like you.
If you could pull that up. Can you pull it up from there? Oh, maybe. No, it won't. Yeah, unplug it and I'll get it.
You know, if you divided the congressional districts into smaller ones, David and Cindy would be in Congress together. And you wouldn't have this problem. But you guys, 50 years ago, we had 7 congressional districts. Now we're down to 4. What are you going to do when we're down to 3?
Well, we'll divide it up so there's 3 equals.
Why aren't there 10 districts in Iowa? Why aren't there 7? Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because the federal doesn't allow that.
The state legislature can introduce an amendment to divide the districts. All the states can ratify it. You guys got to think outside the box. And my state senator lives 4 counties away. How is that represented government? It's not.